Hello again, children. It's Mr. Stewart again here. I'm a teacher from Sholing Infant School and I'm going to be carrying on with your English lessons today. If you joined us yesterday or last time, you'll know that we were looking at this book together by Oliver Jeffers. It's called This Moose Belongs to Me. I hope you enjoyed it yesterday, because today we're going to finish it off and find out what happens to Wilfred and his moose. But we're going to do some of the same things that we did last time and last week with Mrs. Francis again. We're going to start off with a game in a moment to get your English and reading and phonics brains working. And then after that, we'll have a look at that book together. So yesterday you used your sounds to help you find out if words were real or fake. Today, we're going to see how good you are at recognizing some of your tricky words, or maybe you call them your common exception words at your school, or maybe even high frequency words. These are words that we have to recognize when we're trying to read them. Sometimes we can sound them out, but sometimes we can't, and we just have to get used to what they say. So I'm going to use a game that you did last week with Mrs. Francis with the dinosaur eggs. Let's see if you can work out which words are the right ones. Let's go. Here we go then. I'm going to play the word. Which word do you hear?
My.
Which word is my?
My.
Point to the right egg for
My.
You're right. Here it is. Let's try the next one.
Down.
Down. Which word is
Down.
Now this is tricky, isn't it? I can see two eggs with the same word. Let me try and use my sounds. Down. Down. And here's down as well. I can click on either of them. Let's see what happens. Another point. Well done.
You.
What's the word again?
You.
Which egg says
You.
Do you think it's here, here, or here for
You.
That's right. This is the word you. We've got 3 points. Let's keep going.
Then. Then.
Which egg has got the word then underneath? It's a bit trickier, this one, isn't it? Because this starts with a T and an H that can make that th sound. But look, it's got the E at the end. E, 3. I know this can't be it. Went. Let's have a look here. Then. Here we go. It's the word
Then. Now.
Where is the word now? Here, here, or here? Point to your screens. Well done. Let's see if we can get right to the top of the tree, shall we?
She.
Where is she? Here, here, or here?
She.
That's right, it's in the middle. There's your sh. And it's got the letter E on the end that this time makes it say she. Super. Let's see how many points we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we can get 10. Let's keep going.
Was.
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 Is it here, here, or here?
Was.
That's right, it's in the middle. I always remember it because it looks like it should say as was, but it's not. It's was.
Her.
Where is the word?
Her.
Here, here, or here?
Her.
That's right, just here. Her. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. We're nearly at 10.
All.
It's the word.
All.
Where do you think that is? Over here, here, or here? That's right. It's this one. It's the word.
All.
Okay, this is our last one. I wonder if it'll be really tricky.
With.
Let's hear it again.
With.
Is this with? With. Here. With. Ah, I think it is. And this is the word. Oh, I remember this one. This is our. So this must be.
With.
Ah, well done, children. We've got our 10 points. Good learning this morning. Let's carry on with our work. That was lots of fun. Well done with that, children. You did really well. You really know those high frequency words really well. Now, are you ready for today's lesson? Here's what you need to remember. Make sure you're sat in a good space. Make sure that you can listen and watch, that there's nothing around that's going to distract you. And again, you don't need too much to help you with today's lesson. Just your pen and paper, a whiteboard and pen if you've got them, and again, someone to talk to if you can. Maybe a grown-up, maybe a brother or sister, maybe you can just talk to the screen. Or today, you might find it really helpful if you've got one to talk to a pet, because they might help you with today's lesson. But more about that in a bit. First of all, we've got an important job to do. We need to finish off our story. This moose belongs to me. If you remember from yesterday, Wilfred has got a pet moose. And he's explained to him lots of rules about how he would like him to behave. But he made a terrible discovery. That someone else thinks that Marcel, his moose, belongs to them. And he's very angry and confused and upset about it all. So let's find out what happens to Wilfred and Marcel. Or is it Rodrigo? I'm not sure anymore. Let's see. I'm going to start from this page just to remind us where we'd got to. You can always look at yesterday's video too if you want to see the start of the story. And we will find out what happens in the end of this book. One day, as Wilfred discussed their plans for the coming year on a particularly long walk, he made a terrible discovery. Someone else thought they owned the moose. "Rodrigo, you're back!" Wilfred was dumbstruck. This moose was Marcel, not Rodrigo. The old lady was mistaken, and Wilfred thought it only proper that he correct her. "This moose belongs to me," he explained. And to prove it, he called Marcel. "Heel!" But the moose did not respond. He seemed more interested in the old lady. "Good Rodrigo." Embarrassed and enraged, Wilfred rushed off for home. But in his haste, and miles from anywhere, he tripped over his string and got tangled up. and there he lay. Wilfred was beginning to get a little bit worried. It was past his home time now, and the monsters would be out soon. He had just ruled out the last of his options when along came the moose and performed Rule 73 brilliantly, rescuing your owner from perilous situations. All was forgiven, and perhaps, Wilfred admitted, he'd never really owned the moose anyway. With that in mind, he and the moose reached a compromise. The moose would agree to all of Wilfred's rules, whenever it suited him. Dominic, you're back, and you brought me an apple. Does the moose belong to someone else? What a great ending. Did you enjoy that? This moose belongs to me. I'm not sure who the moose belongs to at all now. I'm really confused, but it was definitely good fun. Okay, so let's have a think about our learning objective for today. We're going to write some adjectives to describe our animal. Now, adjectives are just that. They're words that describing words, and I'm sure you've heard that word used before by your teacher at school. And here's what I've done for Marcel the moose. I've drawn Marcel on my whiteboard, and round the outside I've written some words that I think describe him. Brown, tall, hairy, thin, because I think he's got really thin legs, furry, and silent, because he never really said anything at all, did he? I have thought of some adjectives to describe Marcel. Can you think of any that I've missed out? Go on, shout them at the screen for me. Super, I didn't think of that one at all. Well done. Now, I want you to have a go. But we're not going to think about Marcel, because during the rest of this week, we're going to invent our own pet and our own pet rules, just like Wilfred did for Marcel the moose. So I want you to think about the pet that you've got at home. Or if you haven't got a pet that you would like. It might be something really sensible, like one of these. Or it might be something crazy, like one of these. You can choose. But I want you to do the same as I did for Marcel. Draw a quick picture, either on your paper or on your whiteboard, and then round the outside, can you think of some words, some adjectives, try saying that word, adjectives, well done, that describe them. Think about how they look. Think about how they might feel. Think about the noises that they might make. You can use adjectives to think and to describe about all of those different parts of your pet. So, get your paper and pen. Have a go at drawing your pet in the middle. Use these pictures here to help you if you want, and then try and write those adjectives around the outside. Pause the video and off you go. Welcome back, children. How did you get on thinking of adjectives for your pet? How many did you think of? Count them up and see if you beat me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7. How about you? Ah, well done. Now, you could play a game with these if you want. Maybe you've thought of an imaginary pet. Or maybe there's someone who doesn't know what your pet is. Can they guess what pet you've got just by listening to your words? How well have you described your pet? I wonder if you can work out what pet I've got. Here are the adjectives I've used to describe my pet. rough, sleepy, silent, yellow, spotty, bumpy, and cold. Can you guess what my pet is from those adjectives? Cold, bumpy, yellow, spotty, silent, sleepy, and rough. I wonder if you've worked it out. Would you like to meet her? If you're very good and very, very quiet, I'll go and get her for you so you can meet her. And let's see if you were right. You sit nice and still, and I'll go and see if I can get my pet ready for you to meet. I'm back, and I've got my pet with me. Here she is, just here. Can you see her? I wonder if you can work out what kind of animal she is. Can you see? Were my adjectives correct? I said yellow and spotty and rough and cold. She's got a very bumpy back. This is Mrs. Gecko. She's my pet, and she's a leopard gecko. And she normally sleeps in the day and wakes up at night. That's why I put sleepy as well. I wonder if you worked it out from my adjectives. Well done if you did. Don't worry if you didn't, because it was very tricky. Well, children, thank you for joining in. Oh, I need to make sure she doesn't escape. Thank you for joining in with today's lesson. Well done with your high frequency words at the beginning. Well done on finding all of those adjectives for your pet, real or imaginary, and we might use those later in the week. Again, if you want another challenge today, you could use some of those words to make a sentence about your pet. Have a go if you've got the time. Otherwise, I'll see you again tomorrow, and we'll see if we can do some more thinking about our pets then. Bye for now.